Hi there, this is Gloria Heck with RE/MAX Direct, and today I'm going to be giving you some tips on what you need to do to get your offer accepted in this super hot market. So hang on. Hardly any properties for sale. And the properties that are for sale are going for way above asking price. It makes it very challenging for somebody who is trying to buy a home right now. You put in offer after offer, and your offers continue to be rejected. It can feel like a never-ending losing cycle that is just so frustrating and has no end in sight. But there is hope. If you follow the advice that I'm going to be giving you today and use the tips that I'm giving you, you will get your offer accepted. Please bear in mind that these tips are really for the people who have found their dream home, their forever dream home, and they feel like they must have the home. Okay? So these are those tips. Here we go. Okay, tip number 1. If you're working with a realtor, make sure that that realtor that you're working with has a good rapport with the listing agent. It will help if your agent is very personable and knows how to ask the right questions. If they can get along with the listing agent, this is key. The listing agent is really the gatekeeper between your offer and the sellers. They are the voice in between. So you want to make sure that you have a realtor who knows how to probe and ask the right questions, connecting with the listing agent. And most importantly, you want to make sure that your agent is communicating with the listing agent to find out what's important to the sellers, okay? What's important to the sellers is important. Now, tip number 2, you must make an offer above asking price because you are competing with so many other buyers. It's important to stand out amongst the crowd. The best way to do that is by making an above asking price offer and waiving your appraisal contingency. So basically what that means is that if you are financing, if there is a shortfall between the value that the appraiser is putting on the home and the amount that you're offering on your purchase, you are going to have to pay the difference. An example of this is if a house appraised for $400,000, but you offered $425,000. You are going to have to pay the difference between that $400 and $425. So you will have to come to the closing table with $25,000 above what the appraisal came in at. So you are going to have to waive that appraisal. It's very simple. If you want to be competitive in this highly sought out market where homes are going very quickly for above asking price. If you're in this situation, this is what you need to do in order to get your offer accepted, okay? This is your forever dream home as well. So remember that. You're going to pay more for it. That's what you have to do in this competitive market. Tip number 3 to get your offer accepted is add an escalation clause to your offer. Here's a scenario. If the seller puts their property on the market and there are 10 offers, which is quite common, they're having to choose between 10 offers which includes yours. The surest way to get your offer accepted and have that dream home is to add the escalation clause. This means that whatever the offer is, you will pay X amount higher than the highest offer. Of course, the listing agent will need to prove to your agent what the highest offer is. They'll have to show proof of that. But your escalation clause is a sure way to get the offer accepted in this super competitive market. Tip number 4, give the seller an opportunity to stay in the property past the closing date. One of the challenges for anybody who is selling their home right now is the worry of being homeless because properties are going so fast. Giving the seller an opportunity to stay in the house after you've closed is called a post occupancy. This is a great way to help the seller who is super stressed out. I know you're stressed out, but the seller is super stressed out as well. They're worried about moving into a new place and even finding a new place. It gives them a little bit of peace of mind and tranquility. This could be the difference between getting your offer accepted, which is why it's important from the beginning to know what's important to the seller. Okay? You need to know what's important to the seller. So that's why your agent needs to ask probing questions to the listing agent. So here we go. Tip number 5. Have your lender reach out to the listing agent to verify your creditworthiness. When your lender reaches out to the listing agent to introduce themselves and basically let them know that they're part of a team that's helping you to purchase your property, the lender will tell them how qualified and what a great candidate to purchase their home you will be. And believe me, when a lender reaches out to a listing agent, it goes a long way towards that financial stability of knowing that this buyer is solid. This borrower is going to be able to get to the closing table and actually purchase this property. And this is a great tip to help you get the home of your dreams. Okay, here we go. Tip number 6, shorten your inspection period. It's standard to have an inspection period between 7 to 10 days. If you can shorten your inspection period between 3 to 5 days, this will help the seller to have a little bit more peace of mind knowing that the inspection period will be over quickly because it can be very stressful. I've also seen some buyers waive an inspection altogether in an ultra competitive situation where they found their dream home. A buyer will waive the inspection, especially a home that is in excellent condition. This could be the catalyst to turning the tide in your favor by waiving the inspection altogether. Something to think about. So now we are going on to our next tip. So, super important. Tip number 7. Have all of your financials in order. Make sure that your lender has all the documents together as far as securing your financial stability to purchase a home. Typically, we ask for something called DU findings, and that stands for Desktop Underwriting Findings. This document will help to determine how qualified you are to purchase a home, and that will help to create confidence in accepting your offer and knowing that you can, in fact, close on the purchase of the property. You also need to provide proof of funds for your down payment or monies for the gap with an appraisal. The seller needs to know that you are a viable purchaser of their home, and having your financials in order is very important. So, tip number 8. Review the pending sales to see what still hasn't closed. Sometimes properties that are pending may not actually close for one reason or the other. Could be the buyer and seller couldn't come to terms with the inspection findings. There could be a change in circumstances for the buyer. Maybe the funding didn't go through. Ask your realtor to put in an offer on the property that you absolutely love, and use the other tips that I've given you as a strategy when submitting your backup offer. If the deal falls through, you are in first place and ready to purchase the home of your dreams without having the selling agent put the property back on the market and start all over with the bidding craze. You are secured. Don't be afraid to put in an offer on something that is pending. Bear in mind, the 8 tips that I've shared with you are hardcore tips that are surefire strategies to get the home of your dreams in this highly competitive real estate market. If you like what you see, I hope you will press the like button and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything.